Okay.
There we
And
go.
we are live. Welcome to Daytripper Photo Show number 149. I am not Brian Weiss, but I do play him on the internet. Brian is out getting his nose hairs trimmed, so he can't be here for the show. I know he's going to watch it on YouTube later, so I am going to say the most terrible things about him all show, and it's going to be wonderful. Joining me to my left, possibly your right, maybe your left and my right, is our good friend Phil. Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. How are you today, this evening?
I am doing terribly. I had a not too great week and not fantastic day, and it's just kind of the culmination of a bunch of terrible things. So besides that, I'm happy to be here.
Well, hopefully we can turn that around.
And I'm on my MacBook Pro. So sorry, on my MacBook Air.
Okay.
So if I'm lagging out or moving around or it looks like terrible audio because they take a 12-cent webcam and charge $2,200 for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would plug in my beautiful Logitech one that I have that I normally use, but of course, you know, it's a Mac, so it only has like half a USB port.
And it's a MacBook Air, so it's
Can you already tell
floating
this is
on
going to be a good show?
you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, this angle here, you get to see all my nose hairs that I need trimmed. You know, next time I'm going to join Brian on the thing. I'm trying to see if I can prop it up somehow. And for anybody that's like, oh my God, he should have been more prepared. You're right. I should have been more prepared. Except my computer that runs Windows 10 decided to just have a complete meltdown tonight. And, you know, I spent a little while underneath my desk crying and sobbing feebly like most Microsoft users do. And then I decided to switch over to my Mac, which really wasn't much better, but I got here one way or the other. I have to try and find the show notes because I lost it. So
the show notes from last week.
Oh, is that what I sent to you? Is the show notes from last week?
Don't worry, it's fine. We got it. We got this taken care of. So how was your Halloween? Let's start there.
My Halloween was great. I had for the second year in a row, I had the best Halloween ever, where the women all went out and took the kids trick-or-treating, and the men stayed at home and handed out candy and drank beer. So I had a Halloween with basically no children and got to drink beer and talk guy stuff.
That sounds fun.
It was a good Halloween. How was yours?
You know, it was pretty good. Thankfully, I had a lot of kids come to my house and take most of the Halloween candy, so there wasn't that much for me to eat. However, I'm still pretty sure I ate a box of candy in the last like 3 days. It wasn't good. But other than that, it was great. I had a friend of mine come over, and you know, we handed out candy, and then my wife Lindsay was wearing a Jabba the Hutt costume for part of it, which was hilarious because she looked like one of those inflatable lawn ornaments, which was interesting. But it was good. It was a nice time.
Nice. Just something's going on here with my windows. Okay, there we go.
That's okay.
Andrew says, good evening, Gabriel and Philip. Do you prefer Philip or Phil?
Either work.
Either or. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have a preference one way or the other. I'm like a neutral.
To Andrew, I say, good evening to you, sir. Hope you had a wonderful Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Probably quick promotion. He said he wrote all the notes in the first person, knowing that he wasn't going to be here. So I guess I'm supposed to say this is my. I saw a thing online today. He's like, it's obviously from somebody in the States because they have Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, and they're like, can we just skip the holidays and have 2 more Halloweens? I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that.
Especially because it seems like the Monday after Halloween, you know, you get the Christmas trees up and the decorations start coming out. It's a little crazy, and we're going on an adventure.
And I know that. Yeah, this year's the first year I've seen this movement. I'm just going to relocate over here.
That's okay.
Yeah, a little bit better Wi-Fi because I can't plug in. And this is the first year I've seen a movement where a lot of people are like, "Oh, don't decorate for Christmas until after Remembrance Day." And while I don't think it's particularly rude to decorate for Christmas before Remembrance Day, and I don't think that you are not honoring the people Remembrance Day properly. If you celebrate, I will personally support anything that delays the decorating of Christmas. So I am 100% behind this movement.
I like the idea of it as well, mainly because it pushes the prospect of Christmas carols a little bit further away.
There you go. Yeah, go down to Canada Mall now. I was there yesterday, and they already have the Christmas decorations up.
Oh dear. But I do agree with the idea of moving it off, concentrating a bit more on, what Remembrance Day is actually about. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that, it's like, you ask, what are those people? Like an animal lover. It's like, oh, you're driving down the road and there's a dog in one lane and a baby in the other. Which do you hit? It's like, you know what? I think it's possible to do.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. It's possible to do both. Right. I think it's possible to honor the fallen who fought for our freedom and also celebrate Christmas. I don't think that you have to put 100% energy to both.
One or the other. And to be fair, we really shouldn't concentrate on remembering and being thankful for the sacrifice that everyone's made on one day a year. It's kind of a odd thing to do.
That's a good point.
I know there's a significance behind the day itself, but at the same time, we should be more of an ongoing thing.
So if you disagree with anything that we're saying, remember our email address is brian@daytripperphoto.com. All hate mail, especially when this goes viral. brian@daytripperphoto.com. Okay. So, again, I'm going to read this in first-person form because apparently this is how we wrote it. This is my favorite holiday, and I think it's because of all the drama and imagery that comes with it. It's particularly built for photography. Well, he's right about that. We had a wonderful day tripper session at a haunted house in Thornhill. And we got some fantastic pictures from there, which if I was able to get my computer up and running, I would have shared, but I wasn't, so I won't. So, nah. But you can go to the community and see most of the pictures have been posted up there. And there's some really, really good photos. Are you sure?
I think so, but that's okay. The other thing, too, before we jump into the pictures on...
Oh my God, you're right, too. It is. These are completely the notes from last week. Never mind.
But before we jump into the pictures online in the community, just want to say that, if you like the show, give us some love, subscribe on the YouTube channel, as well as join the Daytripper community on Google+. If you already are on the Daytripper community on Google+, definitely, post some pictures next photo assignment, I should say. And yeah, thanks.
Andrew says, just to make sure I got it right, Brian@Daytripper Photo. It's daytripperphoto.com. Don't send it to daytripper.com. And yeah, that's Brian with the Y-N. He hates it. That's his worst one. He wishes there was an I. But, he just has to deal with what his parents gave him. So thank you for, any hate mail or anything like that. Just go straight to him. Wonderful. I am going to, if you enjoy me hosting this show, please say something, because after he sees this, I will never be doing this again. I had dreams and fantasies of being completely prepared, and then I ended up being able to launch the show about 1 minute after it was supposed to start. So do you want to do a screen share on this week's submissions?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Let me see here. Can you see? I'm currently on our first picture, I believe.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, we had an interesting discussion about this picture before, because I apparently don't read comments. That's something I apparently don't do. And
if you look at YouTube, you learn not to read the comments. So.
Yes. Now, I was looking at this picture, and I was trying to see if this was a picture that we were both talking about. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's the one in the bathtub. And I was like, okay, I'm not looking at the right one. But you are completely correct. This is in a bathtub, which is really, I'm going to call it kind of weird, but really cool at the same time.
I think it's pretty easy. You just take your bathtub, you spray paint the entire inside black, you throw somebody in it and take a picture.
Yeah.
So.
Or you have like a college bathtub that's just black with like mold that's never been cleaned.
Oh, there you go.
It saves you the spray paint. Not from experience at all. But I like this picture.
I love this photo.
It has that just slight odd thing to it. And we look down. Can you see my mouse?
I'm just like, let me hop windows.
Okay, we can see my mouse.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Am I supposed to be doing switching here? Just a second.
What's switching?
Well, sometimes there's like, okay, I have it to whoever's talking. The camera's switching to that person. Okay, good.
Okay. So apparently it's not spray paint; it's fabric.
Oh, smart.
Which I guess
it was editing.
Me too. Like I figured, it was a really creative like spot of. Sorry, I'm zooming. I don't mean to. What's happening? I swear. I swear I know what I'm doing. I don't know why it keeps zooming in on me. I don't know what's happening.
It's just a day of technical difficulties.
I'm just not going to touch my mouse. I like this. I think it's really cool. I like the very faint outline of the water around. It's really cool. Now, it looks almost kind of like there's like a cloud over it, so I'm not sure if it was steam or something, but I think it's really cool. I think it's a nice picture. I think it fits the eeriness of the kind of Halloween theme quite well. What do you think?
I totally agree. And when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. It almost looks like she's underwater. And then they wrote back, it's like, yeah, it's because she is. She was more polite than that, but once you look carefully, the problem is with a lot of these, and I have to keep in mind with a lot of things that I post nowadays, is that they're just being viewed on, screens that are only a few inches.
Yeah.
And most of these pictures can't be appreciated unless they're on a larger screen. And this one looks way better on a 27-inch monitor than it does on a 6.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's no overlay. Okay.
It's a secret.
That's really cool. It does look like there's maybe a bit of an old film graininess added afterwards because we have, I'm going to attempt not to zoom in. Down here we have what looks, I don't know what's happening. What looks like maybe a ripple or a reflection, but it kind of looks like on film, if you developed your film poorly, you'd get little like runs and lines and stuff. And it kind of looks like that to me, but I think it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I really like this picture. Let's do if there was one criticism that we had to make.
My only criticism is this back. Okay, so if I zoom in, it doesn't look good. This back here.
Okay.
I'm not sure what this is. And I think it takes away from the shot. Maybe it's an editing artifact or something. Maybe it's the top of the bathtub. I don't know, but I feel like it. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry, everyone.
The thing I hate about this picture is that it keeps zooming.
It does. That's the problem.
You know what? I'm viewing it on on my MacBook Air, and the brightness is turned up to 100%. Now, this is one thing that is hard to edit for. So on this computer, because it's got a different color gamut, and because the brightness is so high, it's really clear to me that that's a brush stroke. That's a stroke of something that has kind of edited something else out.
Yes.
And it's a lot brighter above it and a lot brighter below it. But if your monitor that you're editing on is not properly calibrated, or if it's turned down a little bit darker than other people's monitors, you're not going to notice that at all. So that's something to really keep in mind when you're editing, that different screens, you want to get your screen calibrated.
And I learned that the hard way a while back when before I got a MacBook Pro. I don't use it anymore. I have a different computer now, but back I used to edit on a tower PC, and basically the cheapest monitor that I got with my tower PC, and I would edit a picture and I'd have it look awesome on my screen, and then when I printed it, it looked like someone just like scribbled all over it. It was just all like brush marks. It was terrible. So having your screen properly set up is an awesome thing. And maybe, I don't know if maybe there's a back show, if we go back far enough that talks about something like that, or something we go into a little bit more depth in an upcoming show. Down the line. Because it's definitely something worthwhile. Even if you have a decent monitor, just some of the kind of setups to look for, what we do if we actually do calibrate our monitor, and you know, the easy ways to do it, and maybe the harder ways to do it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorry. And,
Bonnie says, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to, go back to the picture. But yes, sorry, what you're saying?
I was just saying, Bonnie Penny says, hi, everyone. I missed the first bit because the show wasn't loading. We were a little bit late to get started due to technical difficulties, mainly called Windows 10. But it's nice to have you here, Bonnie. Yeah.
All right. I like the picture, though.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hold the breaststroke against it. It's got a really cool idea going on.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hop on to the next one, Sarah's other picture.
Okay.
Of
so it's like two pictures, but separate ones, I think.
Yeah, and we'll just go over these a little bit quicker than that one, just in the interest of time.
Yeah, in fairness. So these two, similar maybe theme across both of them. Odd clown mask kind of getting pulled off a face. I like it. The one on the right, I like both of them. I think they work really well, especially for the super creepy Halloween side of things. I like that. I'm gonna try not to zoom in. Like the eyes here are nice and bright, nice and sharp. So your eyes are pulled directly to that area. I think that works great. My only thing I have against the picture on the right here is I think the cat's a bit bright, because I keep getting brought down to it more than I'm to the actual subject itself. Despite that, I applaud you for covering the cat in fake blood. Although it's a cat, so it could be real blood. You never know. I think it kind of fits. It just has a kind of a weird look to it, especially because it is okay, I'm going to call it a hairless cat because I don't know what the proper name is.
I'd call them hairless cats. That may be culturally insensitive. I don't know. If it is, I apologize. All hate mail can go to Brian at daytripperphoto.com. Yes. And he's not going to care because, as we all know, he hates cats.
Exactly.
So, I've seen him kick them on several occasions.
But I think they're both cool pictures. I like the idea behind them. I want to know if that's the same fabric from the bathtub. Repurposed is always a good thing.
That makeup is amazing.
It is really good. And the fact that it looks like it's peeling off and it actually has a really legit peeled off skin look is oddly disturbing.
Yeah. And I have to say, for a makeup job like that, I can only imagine from what I've heard, makeup can take a long, long time to put on, and a child that age, maybe she has the murderous look in her eyes because it's like, you made me stay still while you put on this makeup, and now I'm gonna murder you. But that's really good and very impressive. Yes. My son would have maybe 2 lines down his cheek, and he's like, "I'm done." So
okay. Do you have anything? Any comments or anything? Any criticism? Constructive criticism.
Sarah admits that yes, her screens need to be calibrated. No, it was a different cloth. And no, not at all. LMAO, which is out of context, so I don't know. I didn't see when that came in, so I don't know what part of the conversation it's referring to.
I wouldn't say that I don't either.
Well executed, great makeup, great look. Yeah. I see the points that you were making. I like it.
Should we jump to our next one?
Okay. Let's jump to the next one. Would that be Liz's?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay.
I like this one because, sorry, I'm going to let you start on this. I started on the last ones.
So I'm just going to read her comments because apparently you don't read them. Somehow my creepy photo vanished into the ether. Well, it is that time of year. Spooks out and about already. I know it was here earlier on, as Joseph Leduc had commented. The background picture is an older shot taken up at Algonquin, Lake Wahawahamahaga. No, I don't know. But
Okay.
That's cool. I'm going to open that bigger on my screen. Okay. So it's like a composite.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I like it. You got the nice sunset in the background with the branches and the bats kind of layered on the top with, I would imagine, a moon that wasn't there. Mainly because the sun in it, similar side of the shot. I think it's really cool. I like how it's using kind of some of the things that we've been looking at over the last couple of weeks and putting it all together and to make a very Halloween-y picture.
Yeah. That looks like the blood moon.
Yes.
So yeah.
Which definitely fits.
I wonder if those bats clip art?
I don't know.
I think it's hard to get a picture of a bat like that.
In a silhouette like that? Maybe. I like it though. It's actually pretty cool. The thing in the water, I don't know if it's just the sunset or if there's a reflection there. It's kind of
looks like an angry hairy baboon.
I think we're seeing different things. It's like an ink blot test.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And it's interesting that I see an angry hairy baboon.
I think it's cool. I like this picture.
I like this picture too, and the cross. It's abstract because the crosses are out of place, but they give it an eerie feel.
Mm-hmm.
The branches are like you'd see in a thriller.
Yep.
Video stuff. I like that. I think it's well put together.
And I like the cross up here. It looks like it has a bit of a reflection of itself in the water, which is I think a nice touch.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
Let's see here. If I have a complaint about tonight's show, do I also email Brian at daytripperphoto.com? Absolutely not. No. We are not taking any feedback, actually, tonight on tonight's show.
Use the internet.
It's a one-off, and if you don't like it, you can ask for your money back.
Did you comment on it yourself?
Did I comment on any complaints that are going to be written about tonight's show are going to be from me. I was awful. I was terrible, and I wasn't even drinking whiskey. Okay.
So I'm just going through the pictures here. We got to the next one for Kathy, and there's no picture. She said that it would be after. Okay. So she had one, but she didn't end up doing it.
Oh, okay.
But she was going to miss the show because she was at Chris Hadfield's Generator event, which I don't know what that is, but anything with Chris Hadfield would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just watched a cool TED Talk with him yesterday about what he learned about going blind in space.
I didn't know it was blind in space. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, he got a little bit of the there's like a
the anti-fog
helmet. Yeah, and it got out one of his eyes, and then it started tearing up, and then it moved over to his other eye, and he's just kind of like he was on a spacewalk. So it's like literally the furthest you can be from any type of safety. It was a lot. It was a really neat video.
I think he touches on that in his book, The Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth, which if you haven't read, is actually an interesting book because it's not like a self-help book. It's just like whatever you're going through, it's handleable by using this kind of idea. It's actually a really interesting book. It's worth reading.
I'll see if I can get the audio book. I'm unable to read physical books nowadays. I've been trying to read one book for about 3 years, and I just don't have the time.
Those Where's Waldos can take a while.
Now, I can never see him. Have you seen the Modern Family?
No.
Okay, there's a Modern Family where one guy he's like Waldo blind.
Okay, so we just can't see him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's. Okay, so Brian is back, and he's actually watching the show. And I asked him if he wanted to take over and please save me from this humanity. And he's like, "No, you're doing okay."
Okay.
So let's keep going.
I guess he'll comment from the ether.
Yeah, he is, as we call, the peanut gallery.
So we're back to another one of Sarah's pictures.
All right. Now, how many... Sarah, I love your enthusiasm. Oh my gosh.
I cannot press the buttons. I'm sorry. I don't know how the internet works. So we have a couple. So actually, I'm going to skip over hers for right now. We'll come back.
Okay. Yeah.
We're going to jump to Bonnie's.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. These ones.
So we have two or one? Two. Okay.
Yeah. I love these.
I like them too. I like the idea of taking something small and putting it in like the world, but making it look like it fits in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been a huge fan of photos like this. You know the little Amazon box guy? Have you seen those photos?
No.
No, I know it sounds weird when I say it, but Amazon box guy, or even the photos where you take like a really realistic like VW Beetle, like the little peanut vans, right? You make it look like it's at the beach and stuff. I love these photos. And she did an ET, and it's at Halloween, and he's holding a little pumpkin basket. I mean,
it's
that's
dressed
just
up.
bang on.
Yeah. It looks like it's on like the sidewalk or on like the road. Giant leaf to off, throw your perspective off. I think it's really cool. So I like this one in black and white. There's nothing brighter than ET, nothing more really in focus than ET. So your eyes immediately drawn to him. Oh, that's the Amazon box.
Yeah, this guy here. I love the stuff that people do with him, and they're just adorable.
That's awesome. He's taking a picture of a macaron, playing some soccer.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. Or, you know, like Brian was just saying, he has to come in, but his office is torn apart trying to put in the Christmas village. And this would work really great. Get a Christmas village, right? So it looks all realistic. Pour some gasoline on it, set it on fire. You got your, apocalypse thing.
You go all Michael Bay on it.
Yeah, go all Michael Bay on it. I'm going to run that past Shelley.
I don't think she'd go for it.
Okay.
So I'm just jumping to another one of the ET pictures. I think her second one, which I might like more than the first.
This one's even cuter than the first one. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You got the color going on. You got the pumpkins behind, which I don't know how big they are in real life, but they seem massive in comparison. I think it's I think it's really, really cool. I like this nice soft background. You get the orange color from the trees. It's fall. It's that kind of time. I think they're really cute. I like these. What do you think?
Brian's like, spit me. Read my message. You get 2 words in and feel the pain. Okay. I'm not reading that out live. That's not safe for radio. No, these ones here, I absolutely fell in love with these photos. I mean, they harken back to my childhood. The color on this is just beautiful. I mean, this could be, usually you see this type of coloring, this type of treatment in wedding photos and stuff, right? The eyes are so blue and they pop out. There's really, like these photos, these 2 photos that we're looking at, they have that extra 5%.
Yes.
That extra 5% that we're always trying to pull out of ourselves and help other people pull out of themselves. Phrasing. And I mean, it's just the cropping, the treatment, the coloring, the composition, everything like that. It's just beautiful. I love
Absolutely. Getting down on, its level, everything. I agree. I think they're really, really cool.
Yeah, well done. Thank you for sharing those. Let's go to
Charity.
Yeah, we'll skip Brian's. And if you want to, I think he put it up on YouTube. He has a video of him terrifying poor local children and stuff. And, it's a funny video. Bonnie says, I'm not very confident with black and white. Wondering what would you guys think of the execution /range?
I like this in black and white.
Oh, sorry. That was for the ET. Sorry.
I think this works really well in black and white. Just, I think compared to the color, going back to what you said, that kind of wedding picture feel where the eyes are super blue. It has a super kind of, I'm going to say, lifelike feel to it. It's not taking away from this shot. It's just, I think the color one suits this awesomely.
The nice thing with the black and white one is that because it's black and white, it feels like it could have been taken on the day that the child got it as a gift back in 1983 or whenever it was. It's more timeless. And because it's in such good shape, the color one brings it more into the now. And especially because of the styling of the coloring, you didn't really see styling like that back in those days. So that really brings it. I mean, it's very modern, very up to date, and then the black and white is very timeless. And I love them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as for the range, I don't think this needs to be a color this isn't a picture that needs to be really punchy. It's a little bit washed out, and that's fine. That gives it a little bit more of that timeless look. So, okay. Sorry, Charity. You kind of brought up your picture and then abandoned it.
And ran away.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this one?
A lot of people using their kids. Good on you. I got to really step up my game next year. 8, and so, yeah, I got to really get on that. Good makeup, good expression. That looks like a butter knife, so good on you for covering yourself and not getting Child Protective Services. Like when I did my video when Jaden was trying to hide in the big plastic, garbage bag, the big bags that you put your leaves in, and I decided to surprise him by throwing in a smoke grenade. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll put that one up on YouTube, but I don't think I'll put it up on Facebook. So always helicopter mom out there. It's like, oh, that's not safe. It is safe. I checked it out. But no, this is great. It's a nice expression. I like the washed out look. What do you think?
I like it. I just going back to what you said about the makeup job. I like what possibly is like blood splatter on the arms, which kind of makes the stabbing of the pumpkin, a bit more, odd than it normally is, which is kind of cool.
I explain that to a kid. She's like, I'm terrible age. She looks like what, 9 or something? It's like, okay, now we can get the blood splatter. Okay, mommy.
Let's put on a couple episodes of Dexter. She'll figure it out.
There you go.
I think it's cool. I like it.
No, absolutely. I love it. Like I said, great expression, good handle on the knife. Yeah, okay, just a second here. Do we have any questions? I'm getting sidetracked in a few different directions. Videos linked. Okay, why don't you hop to the next one?
Okay.
And I'll try and catch up on all the texts and stuff that I'm seeing.
Okay.
I don't know how Brian does this.
I don't know. He seems to be all over the place, and he can keep track of a million things at once. I like this picture. It has a very kind of, I'm gonna say, like shining feel to it, where it's just like scribbling on the page. That might not be the shining, but it does. It has that kind of crazy look to it.
Kind
I
of
like
red
it.
rum sort of thing.
Yeah, I like it, and the catchlight in the eyes, brings them out a little bit.
Yeah, and you can tell it looks like maybe there's some flash used, but that just brightens up the paint, the face paint and stuff, and then everything else. There's some nice vignetting and stuff, and it falls off nicely. Okay, so we just have a thanks, guys. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to go back to. Oh, Brian. How do you do this? Okay, so I'm on the same page with you now. Okay. So that one there, yeah. I mean, it would be, if I were to do anything differently with this, I probably would have had them drawing something, like a red rum or something like that, instead of just squiggly lines to make it, kind of finish off the look. You've got the hair, you've got the makeup, you've got the, the sort of like Joker-esque sort of thing going on, the bloody nose and everything, and then it just sort of falls apart at sort of the blank piece of paper. I would have maybe done like a lot of black and stuff with something on there. But besides that, it's well executed.
And I don't have kids, so I'm not sure how the process works, but I think apparently everyone has very cooperative children.
Yeah, and she looks right into it. I'm guessing she's like a zombie cheerleader or something, I'm guessing. But yeah, they seem to be right into it and participating, which is great. Okay.
All right. Should we go to Brian's, I guess?
Maybe touch on it quickly. Or let's go back down to
these two.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with this one.
Brian says, "Phil, you don't know the process of having kids?" Oh my God.
Well, I know how you have kids. I
think next week I'm not going to be able to make the show, and I'm just going to sit there and taunt him the whole time.
I think that's the right way to do it.
Okay, so this one here, I love your enthusiasm. How many pictures you posted? I'm glad that we have time to go over more of them. So I'm wondering, actually, I'm going to see if I can pull this one up. I cannot because I lost the window. Wonderful. Is this another daughter, another child of yours, or are you now going around and soliciting neighborhood people to pose? Regardless, it's well done.
Yeah, I don't see anything in the comments on the photo. But yeah, it's... Sorry, I cut you off.
No. There we go. I'm just pulling it up on my screen.
Okay.
I love the blood on the fingers. That's really well done.
And it kind of running down the arm.
Yeah.
And the spider web overlay, which I'm imagining is an overlay.
Are you still on the first one? No. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that's another one of those, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you sort of things.
It could be. I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it works more on the second one than on the first one.
Well, let's jump over to the second one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this one here, and she's, tapping right on the middle of the spider web, it's very well done. The other one, it's a little erratic and chaotic, and just like, well, why don't you just move? Or like, why don't you just clean the spider webs? Where on the second one, the spider webs are more part of the photo.
Yeah.
Whereas on the first one, I just feel like you need to dust. But that could just be because I bought a house that's close to the water and there's spiders like literally everywhere. So that's not a scary photo for me. That's my downstairs bathroom if I don't dust for 2 days. So
you walk outside in the morning and you walk into like a giant spider web inhabited by a couple spiders. And
yeah, we actually have to spray our house a couple times a year and stop leaving the outside lights on altogether because the lights attract bugs and that attracts spiders. But the first fall that we lived here, I think all of our neighbors thought that we were religious because we'd open the door and we'd go, I'm trying to like go for spider webs. It's like, what are they blessing the door every time they go out?
Very thorough.
So, but this one, I love both the pictures. I love the blood in both of them. I love the expression and the lighting. I love the overlay. But I think the web works a lot more in this photo for me than it does in the other one.
Agreed. Okay. And then we have, I believe, the last two, which quite possibly are another. Oh, okay. So a daughter number 2.
Where are you seeing that?
It's the top of the thing. So we had daughter
in the
here, and then daughter 2 here.
Okay.
I don't know if this is also daughter 2. I'm not sure.
I'm an only child and I have one child, so these multiple child families just anger and confuse me.
It's different and scary.
Be confused and angry and hungry. I can go punch a sandwich. Okay, so she's got her lighting bang on. Like this is really. It's on a good backdrop. Like the colors they're not oversaturated, they're not overpowering, but they're still really colorful. Well, looking a little creepy. It's really well done.
I agree.
Nice, yeah, nice detail captured. Like there's nothing that's really. There's maybe a little bit in left ear. That's a little bit sort of oversaturated and blown out, but for the most part, like the all the details captured in every, from the detail in the dark hair on the bottom to the light hair in the ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And it can be kind of hard to get what looks to almost be like a fluorescent pink to actually have, detail instead of just kind of going off the sides. I think it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And then the second one in the series?
Okay, sorry. Brian's trying to. I think he's had enough of me. He's like, "How do I come in?" Oh, never mind. I think I'm messing up the switching or something like that because he keeps yelling at me. He's like, "Lock on Phil, lock on Phil. You're locked on Phil. Stop locking on Phil." But the problem is, I'm used to having a dual monitor system, and now I'm just on a single monitor, so I'm sort of jumping back and forth from screens and stuff. So I apologize for that. Okay, I'll lock on you again. Yeah, no, it's, I can't think of any criticism with these.
No, I think it works well. It's, a little bit of a different kind of look than the first one. But it's still equally, I think equally as good of a picture.
Yeah. Well done, guys. Now, as Brian mentioned, I think a couple shows ago, he's just telling me how much he loves me. So I guess he comes back from wherever he is and just hits the whiskey. So it goes from, no, switch to the other one. Switch to, I love you, man. I love you. Oh, no, okay, this is good. It's 10:15. We're 45 minutes into the show. We've now got the correct show notes.
Okay.
So, you know what? Just out of principle, I'm not even going to look at them.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, guys, good job. Good job this week. Those photos were amazing. Really, really well done. It was a joy to look at them, and it was a joy to critique them.
Yeah, I like the diversity. Having something from, making little big kind of idea, through the composition, through using kind of makeup artists to get. So I'm trying to not screen share at the same time. There we go. I think I'm back. Going all the way to getting, makeup artists to make it look like someone's face is peeling off. Just really, really, really cool shots that I think took the idea of the Halloween theme and didn't go all pumpkin spice latte on it. Made something really unique and really interesting.
Nothing wrong with pumpkin spice latte.
But yeah, I liked it. I'm happy to see the pictures that were posted, and I look forward to seeing, well, maybe not more Halloween ones, but more pictures as we go.
Yeah. So speaking of more pictures as we go, it's 16 minutes after, but I'm coming off of a terrible day, and I'd like to just get some work done and put my feet up and relax. And I know you have an early morning tomorrow, so we are going to wrap things up shortly. Our next week's theme, so the theme for the next 2 weeks, is apparently, and I broke my rule, and I am in the notes, it's Yo Mama.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that was put in as a joke and we were supposed to just as a placeholder, and we're supposed to come up with an actual theme later. But if it was, too bad. That's now the theme.
Okay.
So
let's go with that then.
I just got a text from Brian. It says, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do we need a theme?
It was supposed to be a joke.
Okay.
No, but we're going to make it your mother.
Okay.
That's the theme. Maybe not Yo Mama, but it's going to be your mother. So let's do that. Theme for the next 2 weeks is your mother. Now, or do you want to go a little bit more existential? Yeah, there you go. And do motherhood.
Let's do that one. That might be a little easier because that has a little bit more of a broader spectrum to it.
Yeah, and it can also be a little bit more. Okay, that'll work.
I feel like we're getting into like Fox News territory where there's a bunch of guys talking about something they don't understand.
I love the one the other day when they were saying, are leggings appropriate for women? And then they proceeded to march out 5 different women wearing different types of leggings. And so I was like, oh, God, you guys just picked this story so we had an excuse to look at women in leggings. So
I think so.
Okay, so motherhood is the theme for the next 2 weeks, as we expertly had planned and prepared. And
yeah, absolutely. We just make it seem like we don't know, just because it's fun.
Quick plug.
Okay.
In November, which is this month, I'm so prepared. Later on this month, I can find my calendar. In about 2 weeks, we're having another Daytripper photo session called One Light, Infinite Possibilities. And the point behind this workshop is a lot of people like to get into portraiture, but there's a lot of different lights that you can use. And every time you go on a different blog and a different posting and anywhere you get, it's November 15th. Thank you, Brian.
So not this Sunday, next Sunday.
Yeah, so a lot closer than I would like it to be because curriculums. So basically, there's a lot of different lighting out there. There's speed lights, there's studio lights, there's soft boxes, there's beauty dishes, there's ring lights, there's constant lights, like with the whole LED revolution and stuff like that. And each light has its own pros and cons, and more importantly, each light creates its own look, its own feel, its own style. And it can be really expensive to go out and, buy a light and try it out. Soft dish isn't really, the beauty dish, isn't really for me. The ring light is okay for this stuff, but, maybe I really resonate with the consistent lighting, or maybe I really resonate with the beauty dish. So with this workshop, it's not an expensive one. If I remember correctly, it's only $75, but I'm sure if I'm wrong, Brian will dig me in about 2 seconds. It's not an expensive one. It's from 6:30 to 9:30, I think. Okay. And we're going to have 4 stations. We're going to have a professional model there. So we're going to go over some posing, some lighting techniques for each different type of lighting. And then you're also going to have a chance to get some hands-on experience with each different light setup. We're going to keep the numbers a little bit low so that more people can go through and you can get a little bit more hands-on time. But I'm really looking forward to this one. So it's November 15th from 5:30 to 9:30. And he hasn't corrected me on the pricing yet, so I'm going to say that it's $75. If the pricing has changed and you are angry, all emails can be sent to brian@daytripperphoto.com. But I think this is going to be a really fun workshop. And if you're at all curious about different types of lighting for portraits and stuff, this would be a good one to take.
Agreed.
Yeah. All good on pricing. Okay, $75. There you go. All right. So I think we're going to wrap this puppy up. This may be the first time in Daytripper Photo history that we're 9 minutes early. I would like to formally apologize for tonight's show.
Again,
thank you
to comments to Brian at daytripperphoto.com.
He will be issuing refunds, even though you didn't pay for this show. If you are very offended, he'll be giving you $5 refunds in the form of a Big Mac Happy Meal voucher. So,
okay.
All right. So, Phil, where can people get a hold of you?
Right now, the best way to do that would actually be to grab my phone number from Brian. I'm in the process of making some interesting changes, so I will have more information on that as we come next week.
Tease.
Exciting news.
I am looking forward to next week's show. Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. So go to Henry's and talk to Brian and ask for his phone number, because that doesn't sound sketchy.
Or you can message me on Google Plus and we can have a chat there.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, where can people get a hold of you?
Not that anybody's going to want to after tonight's show, but if you do want to, you can get me at Gabriel at bousquetphotography.ca. It's BOUSQUET, photography.ca. And yeah, that's where you can reach me.
Okay.
So our quote for tonight's show, hold it, it's our quote for tonight's show. Apparently it's bid adieu. That means goodbye. No, there is no quote for tonight's show. So the quote for tonight's show is...
I got one if you want it.
Oh, yeah, is going to be provided by Phil.
And I think it fits with photography, because photography is a lot of this. And it is from Winston Churchill. And it is: success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm.
There you go.
So you might try something. It might not work. Keep trying.
Yeah, and that's really that really pertains. I mean, it pertains to a lot of things, but really photography a lot. So awesome, thank you.
Yeah. And if there's anyone out there that's a fan of science fiction, we could always do the do or do not. There is no try. Spoken by the great Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Millennium Falcon.
Well, I'll tell you, The Hitchhiker's Guide was my favorite movie.
Great movie.
Well, to quote Luke Skywalker, "This is my boomstick." All hate mail goes to Brian at daytripperphoto.com. All right, Phil, thank you very much for coming on. Even when our famous leader could not be with us in person, but in spirit and in constant text messages. Boy, am I going to be dreaming. Yeah, that noise going off in my head all night. I should really read some of them. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.